Gary Smart and Johnny Parks used to get around in bloody rags. They were an untidy pair. And I said, listen, don't come to the trophy night dressed like that, or else you won't come in. Lo and behold, on the night, in they come, dressed in a navy blue suit, tie, and really looked the part. And I said, gee, you amaze me, Johnny and Smarty. They both went away with trophies that night.
Well, I've often said about JP that he's probably not the best footballer I played with, but he's one of the best blokes that I ever played with. Yeah. And the old, the story about the guy in the trenches. Well, that's the guy you want. You want JP in the trenches with you. Yeah. And he was only a short guy. Well, he still is, of course. He's sub 6 foot. He'd be 5'10", I guess. He played like a 6 footer. Yeah.
Played tall.
Played tall. Yeah.
As he went through his football career, right through, he was a very, very good footballer and played all over the place. So, and all over the field, and every position he would be able to hold every one of them. So. Yeah. In 77, 78, we went through. I think we won. I think we only lost 3 or 4 games for the 2 seasons. We went right through very, very good, and we hit the finals. And one of them, they were starting to come back at us, and we were in front, and they caught up to us, and all of a sudden, there's a big hell of a blue on the wing out here. It wasn't here; it was on one of the major grounds, and of course, he was in there, JP again, and that done that 2 years in a row, and I still credit. And when all the fracas sorted itself out, Kilburn picked the ball up, run the game, we won easy again. But if it hadn't been for him holding the ball up, the other guy had a run on, then all of a sudden I think they would have kept running over the top of us. So, and that's how we won a lot of our football this year, or last season with Jamie, is because we kept running on when they were stopping, and that's what JP stopped the other sides from doing, be able to do it, and pulled the ball up. But he took a lot of punishment over it, but he gave a lot of bloody punishment out at the same time. Yeah. So, but that's the sort of footballer he was.
So he could take a punch.
Oh yeah, and he'd give twice as many.
Yeah.
Yeah. And kick a ball, kick a ball a bloody mile, Chad.
Yeah, beautiful kick a ball.
And when you come off and you couldn't treat him, like trainers couldn't get him on the table and rub him like with a hamstring or anything like that. He couldn't stand, he couldn't sit on the table, and he wouldn't even. No one would be able to rub him down. Didn't you know that, Chad?
No.
Like you couldn't get him on the table and rub him down and get loosen his muscles up. He couldn't handle it. He just tickled you all over.
Are you a chap?
No, I don't want to get in the
I should imagine you've interviewed Max Mathers, have you? Max Mathers is a Stanley bowler.
Yes.
And I should imagine you would have found what he was like as a kid when they had him, because our club was 2 clubs, the Kilburn Junior Colts and the Kilburn Seniors. And in our club rooms, the Colts used to have a shed out the back. Then they came into the back part of it and built on the back of this club room, the old club rooms. And eventually, it took us a lot of time, eventually we knocked a hole in the wall and made a doorway, which made the 2 clubs become one. And those 2 guys, the others have been around the place, and they all had and Maxie Mathers, he's always said he was the best footballer of the whole lot. And you're coming through, but only he couldn't accept discipline. And because John was John. And John still is John.
There's always the guy that would lighten up the moment as well. But when he had to be tough and when the game had to be won, he was right there.
Fantastic.
Tough guy. Yeah. Man's man.
Well, those teams there, those blokes just come together like that. Did you take a while to gel, or did you win the premiership first year out?
We won back to back, 77.
Straight out. With a new team, basically.
Well, we still had a few other guys, but there was a lot of newer guys in that side.
Yeah. How many new guys?
I don't know, maybe at the time 7, 8.
Really?
Yeah.
They were gun players who...
Yeah, look, there wasn't no flick that we won, we were just a bit too good. And you sort of knew it when you're young, like the side Kilburn's got now, they know they're good, so they will go good.
Yeah.
They'll be hard to stop again the next year, right? Because they just got that about them.
Because it's a mentality wing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we had it in 77, 78, so I think they're better than what we were then, so I can't see a problem with them next year.
Well, was there any close games in those finals, or was it a bit of a cake?
That we played in 70.
Did you romp it through those two years, or?
No, we didn't romp it, we just won. And like this crew now, they're the same, they're all 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
So they can just make it happen any time they like. And they're pretty committed.
Yeah.
They're training, they already started training. They're in the gym. Thursday night they start running.
So they train as hard as you did, or they train harder?
Well, I'd say they train harder. We had a coach who got a bit cranky with us sometimes, Stanley, and he had training different. He believed like if you ran 25 laps, that's what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see people just out there running 25 laps before training these days, do you?
No.
It's changed the way you train, and that's why footy's different, because of the way they train. I ended up coaching the kids. I started off coaching under 10s, but that was too fucking hard.
Yeah. No one listened to you?
Oh, no, parents, they're a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
But then I took on the under 15s.
Yeah.
Or was it 16s? Under 16s, yeah. In that first year, we had I had 5 turn up at training, and the police took 2 away the first night. I only had 3.
Yeah. What'd you do?
No, what did I do? Well, just had 3 blokes, but the whole year we only ever had 14, 15 players.
Yeah, really? It's tough.
So my son was going down to high school, so we chatted up a few of his mates, got him out, and we'd always get a couple from the under 14s and that, and went going through winning the flag that year.
Really? It's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
How'd you win it?
I don't know. I think because we really did have some pretty good footballers. Just there wasn't many of them.
Really?
I coached senior blokes in the 2s.
Yeah.
I've tried to do everything. So if you don't, you don't know. But I was only just average at all of it. So, but at least I had a crack. And there's a lot of family in the club. My mum, she's been there for a long time. I've got my brother in there.
He obviously played.
Not anymore. He's retired. He played probably 330, 40 games.
So
I played about 290.
How many premierships you played with him?
One.
One.
I reckon. It could have been 85 or 7.
Yeah, we played in a grand final together at Prospect against Port Districts. Ray Fewings was the coach. And I remember, it's been a pretty close game all the way through. And Ray, no, it wasn't Ray, sorry, it was Ian Fewings, Ray's his brother, said to John, go out there, something special's got to be done. And next minute I look around, there's 2 guys on the ground. Mate, I mean, flat out, passed out on the ground. John's got the ball running up the ground. So I don't know what exactly happened that day because I didn't see it. I only seen what happened after. And but he assures me that he, a ball there, he just went in there and at the right time and spread the 2 fellas, left them on the ground, and it was a turning point of the grand final, which we won. So that was a fairly, and a grand final, you play for grand finals, don't you? And to win it and with your brother, special moment.